What if I told you today that you can achieve anything you want in life by becoming somebody else? Yes, hear me out. After last video, which by the way, if you haven't watched it, pause this one, go watch that one, and then come back. Last video, I talked a lot about how for you to be authentic, you don't need to be one way only with everybody that you're around. And even further, I talked about how you not being authentic, you can go further in life than if you are authentic. After that video, one more thing came to my mind. So today, if you give me 10 minutes, I will give you one tool that you can utilize throughout your whole life to activate every single day the one person that you have in your mind that you want to become. Stay tuned. My name is Andrew Pizzi. I'm an investor and entrepreneur out of Las Vegas, and I want to welcome you to the AP Show, where I'll be focusing on how to create a better life for yourself around health, wealth, love, and happiness, which I believe are all needed in order for you to create a great life overall and not in just one specific area. Let's get this out of the way so we can get right into the video. Usually, I ask you for one thing and I usually break down why and how one of the things is for me and one of the other things is for you. Now we're gonna add one more and I'm gonna ask you for 3 things in this video. One thing that I can promise you is that I always ask you for these things in every single video because all of them that I ask you for are for both you and me. The first one is for you to hit the like button. Why? Because when you do so, YouTube recommends this video and basically the channel to more people. And as I've said before, I don't have any courses, I don't have any links or anything that you have to pay for. So all I'm trying to do with this channel is to get to as many people as possible. Second thing I want to ask from you is for you to subscribe to the channel, but also hit the notification bell. What that's going to do for you is going to notify you every single Monday when I drop a video like this one, but also you're not going to miss all the YouTube shorts and all the extra info that we post every single week. The third and final thing I'm going to ask you in this video is for you to leave a comment below with your thoughts about the topic we're discussing today, but also I want to create a healthy debate because I feel like whenever people talk about this, usually there's a lot of controversy and that's not what I want to create. What I want to create is different points of views so you can make your own informed decision about this topic. With that out of the way, let's jump right into the video. Here's the thing, this might be one of the most important videos I have uploaded since I opened the channel in January. Now, if you're not the person who you want to be, or you're not achieving the results that you have wanted to achieve for a long time, then you do need to become somebody else in order for you to do so. Is that right? You're not the person that you want to become yet. If you were, then you wouldn't be questioning the fact that you're not where you want to be, you're not making the amount of money that you want to make every single year, you're not achieving the goals that you wanted to achieve, and all those things. As always, I would like to identify the problem before I can suggest a solution for you. The problem in this case, or with this matter, is that typically we don't want to admit the fact that we are not the person who we want to be. Typically, we don't want to admit that realistically, we're not doing everything that we could be doing in order for us to achieve the things that we have always wanted to achieve. And that's 95% of the time. It's just because we're not, again, admitting the fact that we haven't built the character that it takes to become that person that you want to be at the end of the day. Sometimes we don't do those things because what happens is the following. We usually think that if we act differently or we evolve into somebody else, we're not being real, we're not being us, or 1,000 different things that comes down to just society and just the things that we have told ourselves over the years, that for you to be you, you have to stick to who you are and keep doing all the things that you grew up doing. Today, I will give you 2 things for you to sit on and think about so that when we're done, you have more and more info about this topic. The first one is going to be a study done by the University of Minnesota, where if you let your alter ego, which is basically acting through somebody else to become he or she, you can become unstoppable with your goals. I'm also going to give you one example of a celebrity who created a whole new person so that she could act through it to become the best in her field. Again, this is done at the highest levels. It's just that people never talk about it. But that's not me. I want to get to the end of things to look for the answers and the things that we need to be doing for us to become better every single day. From there, the second thing I want to give you is an example and a guideline on how and who you need to be acting through for you to activate that person that you want to be. We're going to show you how you need to identify that person and how you're going to become that person. I know it sounds crazy and even creepy sometimes, but trust me on this. This can change your life. I'm going to start into the explanation with one of my favorite quotes ever, because I know that it ties perfectly into what we're talking about here today. The quote is the following: I pretended to be somebody I wanted to be, and I finally became that person. Or he became me. I don't know, but we met. It's such a profound quote because it ties exactly into what I'm talking about here. That's not you faking. You pretending that you are somebody else is you pretending that you're that 40 or 50 or 60-year-old version of you that you want to become. And if you have to pretend or fake or whatever you want to think about as, who cares? The first thing I promised you was a study done by the University of Minnesota. This study was done with 4 to 6-year-old kids. They put them all in rooms and they gave them a ring of keys with padlocks in front of them. And one of the keys out of the whole ring of keys opened those locks. Now, they divided the group of kids into 2 groups of 3 kids in each group. They put them into separate rooms, and one of the groups was wearing their normal plain clothes. The other room with the other 3 kids were wearing costumes of their favorite superheroes. And it's fascinating the difference between the 2 groups. The group with the kids in their plain clothes quit after 5 to 8 keys of not working to open the lock. Meaning they tried 8 different keys, and when those 8 keys didn't work, they quit because they got sick of waiting. The ones at the group wearing the customs went all the way through the end of the key ring to find the one key that opened the lock. Now, what they didn't know was that they were being monitored and they were being listened to while they were trying to perform the task. Do you want to know why the ones wearing the customs didn't quit all the way until they found the key? They were being listened to, like I said, and they said in multiple occasions, Batman or Spider-Man or whoever their superhero was wouldn't quit. So I'm not going to quit until I find the key that opens the lock. Crazy? Now, do you know who Sasha Fierce is? I'm sure you don't, but I'm sure that if I mention the following name, you'll know right away who it is. Beyonce. Well, Sasha Fierce is a creation of Beyonce. She literally created a whole new person with a whole new name within her that she would activate every single time that she would go on stage. Do you want to know why? She was raised in a very religious family that told her and put in her mind throughout her whole life that dancing provocatively was not allowed, that it was not okay. She created Sasha so that when she went on stage, it was Sasha dancing and not Beyonce, the religious girl. Now, do you want to know what's crazier? At one point, a couple years ago, Beyonce on an interview said that Sasha and her were now the same person, that she was Beyonce dancing on stage, and she was so proud of the person who she was at that point. Now, hopefully now you understand better what I'm saying and you're convinced more of the idea, but the question now becomes how? How do I do that? And how do I know who I need to activate and start acting through? That question is really dependent on you. You need to be real with yourself. In the deepest moments, when you're by yourself, who do you want to become and what do you want to accomplish in life? Close your eyes and start thinking about your 40, 50, 60-year-old version and close your eyes and imagine who she or he would be proud of and why. Because that's going to be the foundation that we need to know in order for you to know who and how you need to start acting. What do I mean by this? If I know exactly the kind of person that I want to become and all the goals that I have and all that kind of stuff, then I can study the person who is in that position, and then I can start and go even deeper and study how they walk, how they talk, how they act, what they do, and all that kind of stuff. So I can start acting through that until I become that person. And by that person, I don't mean that specific person. I mean the person who you want to become and the person who is in your goals. And that, let me tell you, is the ultimate power somebody can have. Now, with all of that being said, now that you understand all the different examples and the person that you want to become and all that kind of stuff, go put the alter ego into play so that you as well can become whoever you want to be. With all of that being said, thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. As always, feel free to go to Instagram and give me a follow so that you can get daily content from me there, and take care, everybody.